So question, could y'all see me as a farmer? I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the older I get, the more I'm willing to try and experiment and try new things. So I was just sitting here thinking about that. I was like, could y'all see your boy as a farmer? Could you see yourself as a farmer if that's something outside of the norm for you? I don't know, man. They be finding some crazy things on these farms and making different discoveries. That's why it kind of piqued my interest. You know what I mean? Don't believe me? Check some of this stuff out.
You would think that farming is all about crops and livestock, but the stories of these farmers would tell you otherwise. Sometimes the most bizarre and puzzling discoveries can be found on farms. From strange inscriptions that led to the discovery of a lost ancient kingdom to a rabbit hole that led to a 700-year-old cavern complex, here are 20 shocking discoveries made by farmers. Number 20. A farmer finds strange inscriptions which leads to the discovery of a lost ancient kingdom. One day you're tending to your farm, and the next you're being interviewed about a historic discovery. That's what happened to this farmer in 2020. A farmer tipped off local archaeologists about a stele, a piece of stone he found on his farm. The stone contained inscriptions in Luwian, an ancient language from the Bronze and Iron Ages. The farmer didn't expect that the stele submerged in the mud would reveal the story of an ancient kingdom that defeated the Phrygian Empire. The stone, covered in hieroglyphs that are read from alternating right to left and left to right, depicted the victorious proclamation of King Hartapu over the empire. With this discovery, archaeologists set out on a mission to learn more about the mysterious kingdom that dared to battle the legendary Phrygian Empire, which was ruled by the legendary King Midas. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now. Number 19. Farmer finds a 6-foot crater in his field. In the serene countryside near Putney, Wiltshire, a farmer's routine day took an unexpected turn when he discovered a massive 6-foot-wide crater in his field. The culprit? An army artillery shell that had veered wildly off course, soaring 5 miles beyond its intended target during a live firing exercise on Salisbury Plain. Well, that's quite terrifying. The artillery flew over 2 villages before landing with a thunderous impact, resulting in a crater in the clueless farmer's field. Fortunately, there were no injuries or property damage reported. The army quickly suspended all live firing exercises and launched an investigation to determine how the shell went so drastically off course. Modern artillery can have a range of up to 30 miles. But even with advanced targeting systems, variables like weather, equipment malfunction, or human error can lead to such rare but alarming misfires. Well, this discovery is definitely something no farmer wants to see. Number 18. A 2,600-year-old stone slab from Egyptian Pharaoh. In northeastern Egypt, a farmer preparing his land for crop planting made an extraordinary discovery. A 2,600-year-old sandstone slab, or stela, from the era of Pharaoh Apries. The stele measured about 91 inches long and 41 inches wide. It contained intricate carvings, including a winged sun disk and a cartouche bearing the name of Apries. Apries was one of the pharaohs who ruled over ancient Egypt. He was also known as Wahibre Haibre, who ruled Egypt during the 26th dynasty from around 589 BC to 570 BC. His reign was marked by military campaigns and significant political upheavals. In fact, the slab, inscribed with 15 lines of hieroglyphs, is believed to be related to one of these campaigns. According to historical accounts by the ancient Greek historian Herodotus, Apries fought against the Phoenicians and faced a civil war that ultimately led to his downfall and replacement by Pharaoh Amasis. The hieroglyphs on the stela are currently being translated, and they may provide previously unprecedented discoveries about the ancient Egyptian civilization.
See, it looks to me like, this makes me think of like maybe something they use during trade. Like to I don't know, maybe maybe some type of I don't know, reference to say, okay, this equals this, or this equals, like, does it make you think of trading? Like I like maybe a legend for it. I don't know, man. I can't wait till AI just start uncovering and cracking the code to all of these things, man, because I want to know what they mean, especially that something like this.
Number 17. A secret mastodon skull. In 2014, a farmer working on his land in a small town in southern France made a rather unexpected discovery: the skull of a long-extinct Pyrenean mastodon. Now, what's strange is that this farmer didn't reveal what he found until 2 years later. He kept it for years due to his fear that the mastodon skull would attract countless archaeologists and amateur treasure hunters to his property.
Can we all say smart man? Or maybe he's seen others get taken advantage of, their properties get torn to shreds, and they don't really get compensated. And so he probably figured he needed to do his research first, which is very, very smart.
Finally, after 2 years, he decided to contact the Natural History Museum of Toulouse. It was only then that the skull was identified as belonging to a Pyrenean mastodon that roamed the Pyrenees around 11 and 13 million years ago. This species of mastodon had a distinctive feature: 4 tusks, 2 from the upper jaw and 2 from the lower. Prior to this discovery, the only known evidence of this species was a few fossil teeth found in the region in 1857. The complete skull found by the farmer is thus a groundbreaking contribution to the scientific community. Number 16. Thousands of mice. In 2021, the land down under grappled with a rather serious problem: mice. Millions and millions of mice. These rodents became a problem for towns and farms across the continent, resulting in a lot of damage. An Australian farmer even discovered swarms of mice in his barn in New South Wales. He couldn't do anything but watch helplessly as the rodents scurried across his property and on his machinery. The ground appeared to be alive with the incessant movement of these rodents, creating an almost apocalyptic scene. Now, you're probably wondering how the mice population exploded largely that year. You see, in 2021, New South Wales had a plentiful grain harvest. This provided ample food for the mice, allowing their population to explode. Following that was a continuous downpour, which gave the rodents perfect breeding conditions. Farmers have been hit particularly hard, with crops and stored hay bales being decimated by the relentless gnawing of these pests. It's also affected daily life in rural areas. Mice have invaded homes, contaminating food supplies, damaging linens, and even biting patients in local hospitals. Some farmers have reported losses reaching up to $300,000 in crops. The 1993 mouse plague, previously the worst on record, caused an estimated $96 million in damages.
I know they might not want to do this, but start investing in some cats. Something to help kind of control them, you know? Or at least get rid of... I feel like a bunch of cats will come through and drop the amount of mice you're seeing down significantly. Like, they'll wipe them out a good bit, at least. Maybe not all of them, but a good bit at least. Best in some cats.
But none of the local farmers thought that another devastating mouse plague would occur again in recent times. Number 15. A lost rare calf found alive in a sinkhole after 9 days. In 2016, cheesemaker Jonathan Crump was heartbroken after losing sight of a baby Gloucester cow, a part of a handful of milking herds in the world. With the calf suddenly disappearing, he assumed that it already perished in the wild. Yet, to his surprise, he found it in a small sinkhole 9 days after it vanished. The calf was discovered by chance when 2 ramblers, Dan Rawlings and Tom Lewis, were cutting across the fields and noticed something peculiar in a hole. At first, they thought it was a badger, but upon closer inspection, they realized it was a calf. After spotting the young one, nicknamed Sinky, the ramblers alerted the farm staff, who helped lift the calf out. Miraculously, Sinky, despite being without food and water for 9 days, ran straight to its mother to feed. After being supported with electrolytes to combat dehydration, Sinky made a full recovery. Jonathan Crump, overjoyed by the reunion, rewarded the rescuers with a chunk of his renowned single Gloucester cheese, which they described as the best reward for a good deed. I don't know about you, but rescuing a small calf and being awarded rare cheese sounds like a good deal to me. Number 14. An Eggception. A farmer had a rather odd discovery when he noticed one of his hens had laid an abnormally large egg. Curious about its size, he decided to crack it open, expecting perhaps a double yolk. But to his surprise, inside the giant egg was another fully formed shelled egg. This egg inception is actually a known phenomenon called the counterperistalsis contraction. This occurs when a second oocyte, which is really just jargon for yolk, is released before the first egg has completed its journey through the hen's reproductive system. As a result, the first egg, still in the oviduct, gets enveloped by the formation of a second egg, creating an egg within an egg. It's a rare occurrence, but has been documented in various cases around the world. The process that leads to this anomaly is similar to other reproductive quirks in hens, such as double yolks, but it's much less common and far more surprising when encountered. Number 13. A little rainbow dinosaur discovered by a farmer. In 2018, a farmer in China unearthed the fossilized remains of a small, colorful dinosaur now known as the rainbow dinosaur. Officially named Kaihongjuji, which translates to rainbow with a big crest in Mandarin, was a species that lived about 161 million years during the Jurassic period, a time when feathered dinosaurs were beginning to diversify. One of the most striking features of Kaihongjuji is its iridescent feathers, which are thought to have shimmered with a rainbow-like array of colors, much like the modern hummingbird. This discovery was made possible by analyzing the microscopic structures in the feathers, known as melanosomes, which resemble those found in today's birds. This goes to show that perhaps the dinosaur illustrations we see today are far from the actual appearance. Maybe some of the species that we know today might have sported feathers without our knowledge. Number 12. Rare four-legged chicken. In 2023, a farmer discovered a chicken being bullied to death by other birds. He saved it and made an unexpected discovery. The chicken actually had 4 legs. This happened on a Kyrie hobby farm in North Queensland, Australia. The chicken's rare condition, known as polymelia, is a congenital disorder that resulted in extra limbs. In this case, the chicken had 4 legs instead of the usual 2. While this might sound fascinating, this difference sealed the fate of the poor chicken. The other birds, not understanding the anomaly, began isolating it from the rest of the group. Luckily, the hobby farmer decided to rescue the beleaguered bird. He separated the 4-legged chicken from the rest of the flock and provided it with a safe, stress-free environment.
I know we all thinking the same thing. Did we get that chicken in the store? Could we have possibly eaten that chicken? It's no way of knowing, y'all. It's no way of knowing. I was sitting there thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, 4-legged chicken. Maybe that's why some of these chickens be looking so big or deformed, or you see different things and you wonder in your mind, it could possibly be that one.
Number 11. The Octop Pig. From a 4-legged chicken, here's a piglet with 8 limbs, which earned it the nickname Octop Pig. This piglet was born in rural China in 2014 and was the 3rd eldest in a litter of 8. Unlike its siblings, this piglet had not just the standard 4 legs, but an additional 4 limbs extending from its abdomen. Just like the chicken in Australia, this piglet too had the rare condition of polymelia. You see, animals aren't the only ones that can have this congenital disorder. It can also affect various animals, including humans. In this piglet's case, the extra legs were non-functional, essentially acting as appendages without any practical use. Despite this, the piglet was otherwise healthy and displayed typical behaviors for a newborn pig, such as nursing and moving around, albeit with some difficulty due to the additional limbs. Despite the limbs not really hurting the piglet, the farmer still faced a dilemma. With so many animals to care for, the farmer was quite unsure how to support the piglet. With surgery being a complicated matter, the piglet, nicknamed Octo, was left alone with the farmer, who still guaranteed that he'd take care of the pig despite its complications. Number 10. 1,800-year-old Roman tombs. In December 2023, a farmer in Bulgaria accidentally discovered 2 graves of a wealthy Roman-era family while plowing his field in the village of Nova Varbovka, Bulgaria. The tombs, dating back to the 2nd century AD, were allegedly 1,800 years old and likely belonged to high-status individuals of the Roman community. Within the tombs were medallions and bottles known as lacrimatories. Now this is where it gets interesting. You see, these small glass bottles were designed to collect the tears of mourners, a practice rooted in Roman tradition where tears were considered symbols of respect and love for the deceased. While this might sound like a rather strange tradition to us, lacrimatory bottles or tear catchers have a history that dates back to 400 BC. In the past, women would keep the tears they shed for their husbands who fought in war in these bottles. These vessels are a symbol of love and grief. The presence of tear catchers in these tombs reveals that a long time ago, many people grieved those who are now interred in these lands. Number 9. 3,500 destroyed watermelons. Agriculture provides the majority of the world's food and fabrics, yet it's also one of the hardest occupations, and sometimes it comes with high risks. It's hard enough to combat the weather and natural disasters as a farmer. Imagine worrying about your neighbors sabotaging your crops as well. Such was the case for a farmer in China in 2015. The farmer woke up to his field of 3,500 watermelons being destroyed. Almost 90% of his strong batch of ripe watermelons were sliced open using what appeared to have been a sickle.
Ooh, I'd have been mad, and yes, for obvious reasons, get your little jokes off. Yes, I like watermelon, as cliche as. Listen, I'd have been mad, bro. What? Come on now. You can mess with anything else, bro. Leave the watermelon alone, fam. Leave the watermelon alone.
The meticulous nature of the cut suggested that this was not the work of animals, but rather a deliberate act of vandalism. Each watermelon had been systematically destroyed, leaving no chance of salvaging any of the crops. While watermelons may seem like a summer treat to many, growing even a single one of these fruits requires months of hard work and great investment for farmers. The process of growing watermelons includes preparing the soil, planting seeds, regular watering, and protecting the crops from pests and diseases. For a farmer to see his entire crop destroyed in one night is a devastating setback, both emotionally and financially.
Yeah, that's why it had to be a person, probably somebody they knew that was hating on their business. That right there, that can destroy a whole season, which could in turn destroy a whole business right there. Yeah, I feel they pain on that one.
Local authorities were promptly informed, and an investigation was launched to identify the perpetrators of this malicious act. Unfortunately, the culprit behind the heart-wrenching act was never caught. Number 8. A cow that's eternally smiling. In 2023, this young calf was supposed to be common livestock on a farm until farmers Megan and Barry Coster discovered something bizarre about it. The couple sees over 700 cows annually, but this Holstein calf born in the first week of March captured their attention because of its rather peculiar marking that strangely looked like a smiling face. This calf was later named Happy, and it wasn't that hard to deduce why it was named as such. When Barry first saw the cow's marking, he was so taken aback that he quickly sent a photo to Megan to confirm what he saw. The couple had seen various unusual markings over the years, but none that resembled a smiley face. The news of Happy's distinctive marking spread quickly, capturing the hearts of people both locally and internationally. With how special Happy was, the couple wanted to keep the calf as a pet on their farm, but due to the overwhelming media attention and public interest, they decided to auction Happy, not for profit, but for a good cause. All of the proceeds from Happy's sale were then donated to the West Gippsland Hospital, a facility close to their hearts where all their children were born. If you're worried, you'd be happy to hear that Happy the calf ended up in a great new home at Lardner Park, a 300-acre working farm and event space where he now serves as a mascot. Craig Debnam, the park's CEO, mentioned that Happy is adjusting well, grazing contentedly, and bringing joy to visitors. Number 7. A house made out of 30,000 corn cobs. I don't know about you, but this is definitely the weirdest house I've ever seen. A house made out of 30,000 corn cobs. Calling this structure a house might be a misnomer. You see, this traditional northeastern structure in Jilin Province, China, is actually a farmhouse. This is the project of Liu Hongkai. Liu, a farmer from Erhe village, created this corncob farmhouse with the help of 14 friends with a budget of around $1,500. All of them spent a little more than 2 weeks meticulously piecing together this structure.
Listen, as a person who loves corn on the cob, I'm struggling right now to not say this is wasteful. This seems so wasteful to me. Like, I could have eaten that. You could have fed like an entire several villages. Like, I don't understand this, so I'm trying to understand and listen and see where they're going with this one. But so far, I'm not feeling it.
Well, calling it a structure is quite an understatement, really. After all, the entire compound included a small farmhouse, a large fence, a water wheel, and a shed, all held together with some metal bracing. Leo even included a traditional stone mill and other rural displays, taking this project to a whole different level. Now you're probably wondering, why? Why build such an odd structure? Leo originally created this corncob house to attract visitors and boost local tourism. Erhe Village has been promoting winter tourism, and Leo hoped that with this unique structure, more people would be encouraged to visit their village. Number 6. Tunnels made by giant sloths. In 2009, a farmer in southern Brazil was driving his tractor through his cornfield when the ground beneath suddenly gave way. This caused the tractor to lurch and come to an abrupt stop. When the farmer jumped out to investigate, he discovered that the wheel had sunk into a large, mysterious tunnel beneath the soil. Little did he know, he had stumbled upon one of Brazil's incredible paleo burrows that were created thousands of years ago by great giant sloths. These tunnels, some of which stretch up to 2,000 feet long and stand over 6 feet tall, are found primarily in the southern Brazilian states of Rio Grande do Sul and Santa Catarina. Professor Heinrich Frank from the University of Rio Grande do Sul has documented over 1,500 of these burrows, each marked with the distinctive claw marks of giant sloth species, including the Mastadon, which once grew up to 15 feet long and weighed over a staggering 5,000 pounds. These creatures spent much of their lives digging extensive networks of tunnels, which served as their homes and possibly as protection from predators and harsh winter conditions. Experts believe that the tunnels we see today were used by multiple generations of sloths, making them communal structures. To this day, researchers like Professor Frank are racing against time to document and protect as many tunnels as possible, as they're vulnerable to natural erosion and human activity. Number 5. A huntsman party. I guess if you're a farmer in Australia, you really have to brace yourself each day. After all, there's always a chance that you'll encounter all sorts of things in your field, including a nightmarish pile of huntsman spiders. That's exactly what Patrick Hatton, an Aussie farmer, discovered on a concrete block at his 10-acre property in central west New South Wales in October 2023. Now, huntsman spiders are quite common in Australia, but a pile of them? That's something uncommon. The species of huntsman the farmer found is also known as the communal or social huntsman spider. Unlike their more solitary relatives, these spiders live in large family groups, often with overlapping generations. It seems like the huntsman spiders Patrick found were having a family reunion under the concrete slab when the farmer disturbed them. Usually, these creatures live under eucalyptus bark or other confined spaces. They're known for their tolerance towards each other, sharing prey, and helping one another out. And so if you ever find large spiders that seem too close to each other, it's likely that you're seeing social huntsman spiders bonding with each other. Number 4. A terrifying spider. What's more terrifying than a huntsman spider? This arachnid. If you thought a family of arachnids was terrifying enough, I bet you'll find this species much more hair-raising. Li Wenhua, a farmer from Sichuan, China, was tending to his mandarin orange farm when he noticed what seemed like a small black object. This small object turned out to be a hair-raising spider, specifically a Chinese hourglass spider, one of the rarest in the world. This spider, known scientifically as Cyclocosmia rickety, had only been spotted 6 times since its rediscovery in 2000. That's how rare it is to spot one of these. The Chinese hourglass spider is a type of trapdoor spider, and it gets its name from the distinctive hourglass-shaped marking on its abdomen. This spider is known for its unique appearance, and its incredibly rare sightings make it highly valuable for scientific research. What's more, this species is also one of the oldest existing arachnids, dating back to ancient Chinese texts from as early as 2 BCE. While this spider looks bizarre, it's not really harmful to humans, unlike toxic and venomous spider species. So if you see one, you can simply leave it alone. It's no wonder that rather than being creeped out, Li Wenhua considered himself lucky for seeing this rare spider species up close. Number 3. A mysterious Tyrannosaur in Canada. In 2020, John de Groot, a farmer and amateur paleontologist, made a groundbreaking discovery. While hiking near Hayes, Alberta, John stumbled upon fossil fragments that would turn out to be from a previously unknown species of Tyrannosaur. This species is now known as the Reaper of Death. The fossils, which included parts of the skull and jawbones, were tucked away at the Royal Tyrrell Museum for years before being examined. The examination revealed unique features, such as vertical ridges along the upper jaw, which distinguished it from other known tyrannosaurs. The creature measured between 26 and 30 feet in length and weighed over 2 tons. This species is the first new tyrannosaur species identified in Canada in 50 years. This species lived around 79.5 million years ago, making it about 2.5 million years older than its famous relative, the Tyrannosaurus rex.
Yeah, let's not bring those back, all right? Scientists, this is us pleading with y'all to let sleeping giants lie, especially those, all right? Because I know they trying to bring back dinosaurs, man. They've been quiet about it too, that and the cloning process, so we know what y'all are doing, man. Just leave this one out of it, please.
This makes this species one of the oldest ever found in North America. John went for a routine hike and came back with a groundbreaking discovery. I bet he never expected that. Number 2. A hidden 19th century era tunnel. In 2021, Gary Matchins, a farmer in Illinois, noticed that the sidewalk outside his home in the city of Alton was sloping inexplicably, and so he set a day to do the repairs. While excavating the area and adjusting the rock wall that sat beneath the sunken pavement, he unexpectedly found a rather lengthy brick tunnel. Little did he know that he had just stumbled upon a historic discovery. This tunnel, approximately 9 feet high and 60 feet long, is made of limestone and brick. Historians believe it was constructed around 1840, a full 50 years before the house above it was built. The tunnel's original purpose remains a mystery, but there are several intriguing theories. It could have been used as an ice house or root cellar. Some even speculate it might have been part of the Underground Railroad, given Alton's proximity to a ferry crossing to Missouri, a known route for escaping servants. After the discovery, Gary immediately hoped to preserve the tunnel and open it for tours. And now it's time for today's topic.
I ain't gonna lie, I'd have turned it into something too. Like, I'd have tried to keep it looking like, give it that nostalgia look also, but man, storm shelter, underground little facility, something like that, man, please. Yeah, I'd have definitely turned that into something.
The Texas farmer was digging in a field when he unearthed something quite terrifying. In his remote field, he unearthed from the ground what many believe to have been a cryptid resembling the terrifying chupacabra. It seemed like the creature was merely hiding underground. It had the body of a human, but its head was that of a monstrous combination of a canine and a calf. The fate of this creature was unclear. However, many believe it was promptly hidden, and its discovery was kept under wraps. The reason? Well, no one knows for sure. Do you really think such a bizarre creature exists? Or do you think this was a hoax orchestrated by the farmer? Let me know in the comments down below. Number 1. Rabbit hole in England leads to 700-year-old caves. In 2017, Michael Scott ventured into a farmer's field and discovered a simple burrow. Curiosity led him to probe further, and it was through this that he discovered the entrance to a 700-year-old network of caves linked to one of the most famous and renowned religious orders in medieval history, the Knights Templar. The Knights Templar, officially known as the Poor Fellow Soldiers of Christ and of the Temple of Solomon, were founded around 1119. The order was established by a group of 9 knights led by Hugues de Pin, a French nobleman. Their mission was to protect Christian pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land during the Crusades. Endorsed by the Catholic Church, the Templars quickly gained fame and wealth. In 1129, they received official recognition at the Council of Troyes, thanks to the support of Saint Bernard of Clairvaux, one of the leading church figures of the time. This endorsement led to a rapid increase in their numbers and resources. It didn't take long before their wealth and influence grew. The Templars were involved in several key battles during the Crusades, including the Siege of Acre and the Battle of Hattin. They developed a network of financial operations across Europe. which included early forms of banking, allowing pilgrims to deposit funds in their home country and withdraw them in the Holy Land. Despite their power and influence, the Templars faced a dramatic downfall. On Friday, October 13, 1307, King Philip IV of France ordered the arrest of the Templar leaders, including Grand Master Jacques de Molay. Accusations of heresy, blasphemy, and financial corruption were leveled against them, leading to the death of many members. Finally, by 1312, under pressure from Philip IV, Pope Clement V disbanded the order. The sudden end of the Knights Templar has fueled countless legends and conspiracy theories. Some believe they guarded the Holy Grail or the Ark of the Covenant. Others suggest they secretly survived and continued their activities in the shadows. With that being said, the importance of these tunnels is immense. There's speculation that these caves may have been used for various purposes over the centuries, including as a hideout for the Knights Templar when they fell out of favor. More recently, the caves have attracted interest from modern pagans and druids, who reportedly used them for rituals before they were sealed off in 2012 to prevent misuse. And so, to this day, the rediscovery of this complex continues to fuel conspiracies about its connection to the mysterious Knights Templar.